Welcome back to War Thunder and welcome to kind of our first impressions on the ST-A1, the Type 60 SPRG, and kind of an update and a bit of news for you. And I'm not making a dedicated duck talks for it because I literally don't feel like it. Let me explain. Um, Over Christmas, I had a not so nice encounter with a virus, and so I was down for literally 2 days. Also, I was home with my family and so on, so it was really cool. The thing was, Gaijin surprised us again with a Christmas marathon, so to speak. And as you might have known, I put out a video on one day, namely the P39 video, because couldn't make a video, and I also had one day where I think I didn't release anything because I had nothing as backup. I made today the M41 Walker Bulldog tank review that cost me a lot of strength, so to speak. I should have laid down better, to be honest. And the next thing is this marathon is again this kind of, I wish I wouldn't participate in it. You have five winning conditions, so to speak, and or conditions that you have to fulfill, of which three are necessary to have the task for that day done. Granted, you have 2 days time, so that's plenty of time, I guess. And we are already at stage 3. Tomorrow I don't have to do anything as the day this is released. Again, I have to thank Exe and Delta for helping me out with some of the missions. I have no problems with, getting 40 kills. I have no problem with that. It's done rather fast, especially with the Russians. It just, it is like that. It just works with Russian vehicles. At this time, what is it? World War II Chronicles, yeah. The bad thing is that you only can fulfill it in the World War II Chronicles, so you can't grind, parallel to it. Which is kind of a shame for me, to be honest. And while those direct winning conditions are alright, like getting 2017 score in one mission is alright. You can rig it a little bit, because I think it's easier to do with aircraft. And when you are in combined arms and realistic, like I do it for this marathon, you can harvest a lot of points with aircraft, then switch over to tanks, and the last vehicle or the type of vehicle that you were in actually counts as that. So kind of, you just have to know how the system works to make it relatively easy. What I have a problem with are other winning conditions that you can't directly control yourself, and I hate that. I hate that a lot. Like, getting supporting fire, that you have to hit a target, not kill it, and your squad member has to kill it while having a certain distance from you. And that is so frustrating. Granted, it's just like, what was it, 4 for aircraft and 5 for tanks. Oh, it took us like 2 hours for the last one. And that is kind of the first impression. That's what brings me to the first impressions on the ST-A1. I got a lot of bad feedback from watching videos, people talking about it and saying, yeah, this tank is bad. I have to say, it's kind of, I'm used to it. I played American medium tanks, and if you played American medium tanks, especially at rank 4 to 5, you kind of used to it, I guess. If I have to give you tips and tricks for that vehicle, kind of the first impressions, it's surprisingly fast when being stuck. It seems like the ground resisting stats are really favorable for this vehicle. on flat terrain it goes to insane speeds that I would expect from a Leopard. And no, I'm not exaggerating. This vehicle literally rocks. However, when you have to go uphill, then the bad horsepower to ton ratio comes into play. So this is where the vehicle struggles. It has no armor and it has a 90mm. And what remembers that me of? Right. The Super Hellcat, or in its nerfed form, the Slugger. And so I play it like this, flanking around and giving enemies the good news with the APHE. And when you shoot the enemies in the side with the M82 APHE shell, you one-shot them, you don't have to aim that carefully. Good results, usually one-shots. That is what I actually missed on the M41 Walker Bulldog, to be honest. But that's another story. So the vehicle is not that useless. It has a 90mm with an APHE and a decent mobility. The armor is garbage. But, you know, the gun handling is quite okay, so I can make it work. What about the Type 60 SPRG? Well, this is a rather unique vehicle within War Thunder up until this point. It has two recoilless rifles with a caliber of 106mm, like the KV-2 CIS-6, if I remember correctly. But it's not a gun, it's a recoilless rifle. How does it work? Well, it has a really big charge in the middle of the barrel, and at one end there is nothing or some weight. In this form, I guess there is literally nothing at the end of the charge, and at the forward end of the barrel there is your shell. It's either hash or heat. And you can imagine that the muzzle velocity speed is not too high, but I guess it's alright. What's not alright is that you overall just have like, 12 shells in total? That is not a lot. And I think heat is the better option. I see here a T-34-100. Aim for it. And I hit just the commander, not hitting any of the other crew members, not hitting the gun breech or anything. Yeah. So that's my love-hate relationship when using heat against Russian vehicles. But I digress. Do I like this vehicle? Well, it's kind of small, it's kind of nimble, it has a hard punch. And yes, I screwed that up totally. This reminds me of the M56, but instead of a 90mm, it has two recoilless rifles. And yes, I didn't care that I wasted a little bit of ammunition. I just had to knock this guy out, which I did, so that's my 4th kill. I'm currently also reloading. The reload is surprisingly fast, I have to say. Yeah, the armor is not really there. I have to get used to it. I have to get to how it fires, because how my controls are set up. When I press the left mouse button, I fire the left barrel. When I fire the right mouse button, I fire the right gun and the 50 cals. By the way, the 50 cals have just 10 rounds each of this because of this magazine, and then they also reload rather quickly. However, I have to say it could be worse, it could be better for this kind of vehicle. What I really dislike about this vehicle is, again, the rather bad reverse speeds and also the dumping of the suspension, but I'm kind of used to it anyways. Yeah. So I was, I think, killed by this guy twice now, and I just thought to myself what to use. No, not the AAA. Let's take out our trusty Tiger. Yeah, and then we come to the Tiger. I made a tank review exactly the day before the Japanese or the patch dropped, or the The day the patch dropped, I released the Tiger H1 tank review. And I still stand by everything that I said, and it is correct. The Tiger itself has not changed, and all the problems that come with it, for example the smoke launchers, are still there. With the Tiger, well, with the heavy tank number 6, however, things have changed. Why is that? Well, it is basically the Tiger E at 6.7 without the APCR as a premium tank for the Japanese. And you have no interference with the smoke launchers. And as well, you have a new shell. This is the Panzergranate. The stock shell is the Panzergranate 39. And you might think, why is this a game changer? Well, I didn't say it in the tank review. By the way, I'm here prioritizing the IS-3. Gives more credits. The Panzergranate 39 is a solid, good, really great stock shell. However, the upgraded shell trades like 20 millimeters of penetration for like 50 grams more of TNT. Now, when I had the encounter with the 88 flak truck, I wish that the Tiger had this shell, because 160 grams of TNT, that's basically a one-shot. And so I got my wish fulfilled. Now, I haven't driven the Tiger H1 and the Tiger E from the Germans, but I really grinded a lot, and I mean a lot, with the Tiger, with the heavy tank number 6. And this shell is just like, it's not really a game changer in this respect, but to end the enemies with one shot is just really great. And I have no idea how this guy fucked it up. How do you fuck that up? I don't know. Sadly, the game was over. I did the best I could. I have an excuse like I'm tired, whatever. No, I just didn't have the impact that I wanted to. Bit of reckless play, whatever. So the first impressions are not too bad on the ST-A1. I can make it work. APG, that's all I need. Type 60 SPRG. Well, I think I have to, do a little bit of science with it, just for, science, pure science, right? Yeah. So that's it for today. I hope you understand that I'm kind of, still recovering from the weekend. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know in the comment section what you think about the new Tiger shell. If you have like such a joy using it against T-34 85s, to return the favor as I did, blowing them up, sending the turrets to the sky. What do you think about the marathon? If it's okay or if it's bad, if it's okay of, gauging to trying to whittling down the patience of the players to get some golden eagles out of them if they really want those reward vehicles. On the other hand, do you really need those reward vehicles? What do you think about the 70% off that we have kind of this week, I guess? I'm guilty. I spend a little bit of my Christmas money. I throw it at Gaijin again. Yeah. So, let me know in the comment section about your thoughts on what I just said. And give this video a like if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more. And we'll see each other on the battlefields and in the skies of War Thunder.